Hi there folks, now in this week's video I want to talk about another form of technical analysis that many traders use when trading the markets, and that's volume analysis. Now a lot of traders, aspiring traders, ask me, do I use volume analysis in my trading? Truth be told, I don't actively use the volume analysis. But in preparation for today's video, I did do some research and it does indeed look quite powerful. But as with any technical indicator, you shouldn't be using it as a standalone. You should be using it in conjunction maybe with other technical indicators, price action and so forth. Now it's also fair to say that using the volume analysis in the forex market maybe is not as accurate as maybe using it in, say, the stock market, where you have a buyer against a seller and that basically is recorded and it's pretty accurate. The forex market, as you know, there's no central exchange. So your broker platform will be having feeds from various parts of the market, but there's no central market exchange. It's a big network. It's called an ECN, Electronic Communications Network. So the volume analysis you see on your broker platform generally is like a section or a subsection of the bigger picture. Again, it can be quite reflective of where the volume is going. Certainly when I'm comparing different brokers, they all do seem quite similar. But of course, the bigger volume, the bigger liquidity that your broker has, the more accurate it is likely to be. Okay, so we're going to jump onto the charts now and let's look at how you can potentially use the volume analysis in your trading. Come on. Okay, so let's talk about a volume analysis. Now, as I said a moment ago, you can use volume analysis in any trading entity, quite frankly, whether it's forex, stocks, cryptos. It does have its relevance, certainly if you use in conjunction with other price action, technical indicators and so forth. I'm going to home in on 4 ways that I think you can use volume analysis. Now, as you know, markets can be in many different states. You've got trend continuation. We use volume analysis for determining strong trends. We can also use a volume analysis to help us predict those turning points, to give us confirmation of a turning point in a trend. Also, markets consolidate for a period of time. In fact, they're consolidating for much of the time. We can use volume analysis to help us predict the breakout or give us, again, confirmation that a breakout is about to happen. And lastly, I want to talk about the candlestick volume confirmation. More about that in a second. Right, let's just get straight into it. So first of all, this is trend continuation. Here you'll see on the chart, I've got a strong trend in play. I'm using a line chart here rather than putting all the candles in there. And at the bottom of the screen, you can see the volume. That's exactly how it shows on the screen. I'm going to show you that when we jump onto the trading screens in a moment. You see the trend is in a strong up move at the moment. Now, what's interesting about trends that are powerfully going in one particular direction is that, as all trends, they have their pullbacks. But if the pullbacks have a lower volume, it's more likely to be a pullback as opposed to a reversal. And I've just obviously cherry picked this, made this one work for the screen. But you see here the market is trending up and we have a pullback. The pullback is aligning with a lower volume candle, and on we go again. Again, the pullback has a reduced volume. In other words, there's not as much selling pressure in the pullback as there is in the trend continuation. And as the market starts to trend up again, the volumes increases, more traders are getting into the trend and the trend is being pushed up by the buying pressure, and the pullback again has a reduction in volume. So using the volume analysis in trend continuation can be quite powerful. It is going to become a lot clearer, as I say, when we get onto the price screens in a moment, trading screens in a moment. So trend reversal, same type of pattern here. Trend is moving up and we've got volumes again, higher volumes on the up moves, and the pullbacks are showing smaller volume. But look here at the end. Again, price is moving up, but when you have this pullback, and it could have stopped there, with the increase in volume, and you see that here with these big volume candles showing more selling pressure coming in. They're red because it's a downward move. That could indicate that this is going to be a reversal. Again, you've got to use it in conjunction with other technical indicators, but it is really a good sort of confirmation if that's what you're looking for. Now let's look at market consolidation. So markets are in range, volumes are pretty sort of level, they're not really moving very much, they're basically just staying in that range. when you see a breakout, and if the breakout is coupled with an increase in volume, such as their breakout to the upside, increase in volume, that could indicate that it is indeed going to break out now and maybe move into trend in conjunction with other indicators, of course. And this is to the reverse, so market's in range. We see an increase in volume, red candle as it's breaking through to the downside, could give you a clue that this is going to be a breakout. And candlestick of volume confirmation. Now, as we know, candlesticks are a very powerful form of technical analysis that helps us predict what human behavior is doing and may do in the future. Candlesticks basically tell us who is in control on a particular time period. We use certain price patterns to help us predict the future. Now, the two patterns that I tend to use are the hammer candles, or the pin bars as I call them, or the engulfing patterns. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about there, do go and watch the previous videos I've done on that. I'll leave a link up there so you can check them out in your own time. Remember, the candlestick pattern itself doesn't tell us that there's more buyers than sellers, because at the end of the day, and certainly in the Forex market, every transaction has an equal side. For every buyer, there is a seller. But a candlestick tells us who is more aggressive in that period. And this is exactly what I want to show you here at the moment. Here you'll see a nice little uptrend here in the market. The volumes are pretty much standard as the market tends to trend up. Nothing really to be taken from the volume analysis there. And right at the end here, you see this bearish engulfing pattern. Now, this bearish engulfing pattern, where this candle here engulfs the previous candle, that shows you here that the sellers are more powerful. They're more aggressive. And if that is matched by an increase in volume, that gives more weight to that pattern. And if you see this at a level of resistance, then that indeed could be a good sign that this market is going to reverse. So it puts more weight behind the candlestick patterns as well, because it shows you that the buyers or the sellers are basically being more aggressive. Right, so they're the basically four ways that I want to talk about today. Let's jump on now to the price charts and we'll see it in real life. Come on. Okay, so let's first start off by looking at how you would install the volume indicator onto your price chart. Now, I'm going to use TradingView and MetaTrader 4 for this short video, but all trading platforms will be very similar to this regard. So the first thing you need to do is go over to the indicator section here on TradingView, type in a volume, and it should default to the built-in version. Click on there, and there you'll see it at the bottom of the screen. Now I'll just zoom in here using the mouse wheel so it becomes a little bit clearer. So basically every histogram bar pertains to the candlestick above. So you'll see here we've got this green histogram bar. It pertains to the green candle above. Back to the right here, you'll see this red candle, an increase in volume. That pertains to the bearish red candle above. And because each histogram bar pertains to the specific candle above, it shows you that during the formation of that candle, there are more participants. There are more players in the market, giving more weight to what the candle is actually showing us. So this is the MT4 platform. So you would add the indicator in the usual way, go to Insert, Indicators, and there you'll see it there, Volume. Just click the volume indicator at the bottom, and there are the colors, and there is at the bottom of the chart. You can move it bigger and smaller in the usual way. It shows you the exact same information. It shows you the histogram bar relating to the candle above. Okay, so what we'll do now is just basically scroll through the price action chart, and I want you to keep an eye on the volume histogram below. You'll see here just before we kick off, the volumes have all been pretty constant. There's been no real big surges in volume, and I think it's fair to say this market has been pretty much in range at the moment. Now I'll scroll through and see how it does perform. Okay, so now you're seeing the market moving into a bit of a downtrend. However, there's not been a significant move in volume, so there's nothing to be really gauged from the volume indicator here. However, if I keep scrolling on through, you'll see here now the volume is starting to pick up. A couple of big long green histogram bars there, indicating now that this trend is maybe breaking out to the upside. And again, another higher histogram confirming the higher trend. And again, and now you have this little pullback here. So this little pullback could be a reversal. We don't know, of course, but look at the volume. The volume histogram has dropped quite considerably, almost back not far above to where it was in the consolidation period. This gives me a clue that this is just a pullback and that the trend will continue to the upside, keeping an eye on the volume. And you'll now see the volume has exceeded the previous higher volume as we continue breaking on into trend. And off we go. Now look though, up here we'll see a potential reversal. But look at the volume candle bar. It's also quite high, which shows me that the sellers now that are pushing this down are still there, or they're there now. Look at them. There's a lot of volume going through, indicating that this is indeed a reversal shaping up. So the reversal with high volume, confirming that it's not the pullback that you saw earlier on there. And we'll just scroll on through and see how it plays out. So big reversal there, and you see the big volume histogram bar as well. Okay, so here's another quick example. See prices breaking up into range. The histogram bars are showing a bit more volume coming in than what you've seen to the left. But look here, we have a bearish engulfing pattern with an increase in volume. So this bearish candle, fully engulfing the previous candle, increase in volume, could indeed indicate or give more power to the view that this is going to be a reversal, and indeed ends up as just that. Of course, I'm cherry picking these. I encourage you to go and do your own analysis and look to see if you can see some patterns and some correlation as well that you can formulate into your strategy. So here's a one that I thought was quite interesting. I certainly think it's worthwhile showing you. The moment you see the volume, all pretty standard. Always worth comparing the volume to what's been going on before. I'll just scroll on through here. And you'll see here the formation of this bullish pin bar. Now, it's a bullish pin bar basically because the market basically opened up here. Okay, the sellers come in control in this time period, which is the daily, but then are overpowered by the strength of the buyers, and we close up there. So that's why it is a bullish reversal pattern. It's red, but it's still a bullish pattern. But look here down at this volume, an increase in volume, showing there are potentially quite a few players in the formation of this candle, giving more weight to this as a reversal candle. And indeed, if we scroll on through, it was exactly that. So you'll see it was a high volume histobar candle there, which led to that big reversal. Okay, let me also end off by saying this. Obviously, different times of the day are more volatile than others. Now, as you know, the Forex market is open 24/7. But during the Asian session, Asia Pacific zones, normally the volume tends to come down a little bit. And you can see that in the chart as well by looking at the volume below. So I'm here in the UK. We're currently at about midday here. But if I just scroll back, and if you take my crosshairs back, you'll see it where the volume's dropped right back down. That was at 11, 12 o'clock last night. Back down here again, you'll see that we're basically 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 o'clock during the European session. Volumes are very, very low. Back here again, 2, 3 in the morning, volumes are very low. And of course, when the European session kicks in, you'll see the volumes increase anyway, and that of course happens in the US session as well. So when the US overlaps with the European session and the UK session, that's normally when the more volume will happen anyway, regardless of what's happening in price. So do make sure that you're aware of that as well if you're analyzing the volume on the lower time frame charts. It's not so responsive, of course, on the daily, but if you're looking on the 5, 15, 1 hour charts and you think, well, hang on, why is the volume all picking up? Well, it could be simply because the US or the European zone is just kicking in. Okay, so I hope you found that useful. Hopefully now maybe you can put it into your tool bag. But I will say this, if you are trading successfully at the moment and you've now been inspired by this, don't just go and change and put in volume analysis to try and hammer out some of those losses, because that is not the way to be doing it. Stick with what you know. But if you are new and you're looking to formulate a strategy, to formulate a plan of attack, maybe you want to include volume analysis in your tool bag. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, give me a thumbs down. Don't forget to leave me a comment. Let me know how you feel about volume analysis. Have you been trading it? Does it work for you? I do read all the comments, get back to as many as I can. Don't forget to follow us on all the socials, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, of course, if you don't already do so. That bell notification, well, you know what that does. Now, if you want to come and join us in our regular daily live streams, you can do so. Head over to the forexsignals.com website. You can take out a 7-day free trial. We've got lots going on in there, a vibrant community of like-minded traders, lots of tools as well, lots of strategies that we teach, and of course we are streaming up to 6 times a day. So I look forward to seeing you in there if that is your thing. If it's not, that is not a problem. I'll see you next week, and have a good week.